his debut today. Exciting times for him.
It is really exciting for obviously Bailey, and playing with his elder brother as well, and the whole family. I know he's got a very proud mother out there today, and the whole family connected to the Foleys, the mother of Foleys as well. So bit of history there, and great to see him. He's in the 16 program, and it'll be good to see how he goes.
Umpire raised the ball aloft. Here's Barry Triffett for City Park Radio. Quarter number 1 here at Windsor Park.
Yes, with field umpires Bannister, Cornish and Reynolds in charge today, and the first tap goes in the Launceston direction. It's been socket off the ground and taken there by Bistro. Gets it out a little bit wider. Launceston player took possession of the ball. It's been tackled and thrown to the ground. The umpire said no opportunity whatsoever to do anything with that. We'll bounce it right on the centre square, almost at the true centre half forward for the Blues. Lederman gets the tap down, but straight to an opposition player who's been pushed and shoved into the ground. Could have been a free kick. Umpire invites him to play on, so the ball's just thrown out of the pack somehow. Ends up out there with Donlan. He gets it out wider, still going nowhere. He's got it back again as Jack Donlan, and he kicks it towards the half forward line, but it's over the back of the pack and taken away there by Sam Rice of the Tigers, who runs it to the boundary line right in front of the Launceston change rooms. And the boundary umpire out there will have his first little bit of work today. And I'm just checking that your time clock running, Dave, and it's 50 seconds of elapsed in this first quarter as the ball's thrown in right on that 50. And there was Thorpe, didn't get a clean tap down. Again, a pack forms at the base of that throw in, and there'll be another secondary bounce from the field umpires. So no players getting the ball at all clear at the moment. It's all been fairly scrambly. And I reckon perhaps some players will be trying out different positions today, just to try and put the opposition a little off as to what might happen next week, as another bounce is about to happen here, because the ball's gone to ground and about 10 of them throw themselves in on it. It's still in front of the change rooms over there for the Launceston Blues. And Dave Moore, see if you can get it cleared out of this.
Right in front of the coffee hut over there, and we thank them for their support this year. As it now comes out to Jaden Hines, gets a little kick away towards Leadham. He can't get his kick away. I think we're going to get another stoppage. First time we've seen the Tigers this year, Maxie. So they've had really a breakout season, haven't they?
Yeah, they've done, well, exceeded my expectations, but internally I'm sure they're pretty happy with the way they're going.
There's from the ruck, taken by Harper. So not too much happening at the moment. We'll keep you up to date. Maxie's got a little spy there at the NTFA Premier League Grand Final. Qualifying final. Bridge North versus Hillwood, so bring you up to date with that during the day. The only TSL game today, with the one played last night, one played later on this afternoon. Little kick comes out. Here's Ryan Matthews. Oh, beautiful skill by Matthews. Spins out of the tackle. Now we've got some flying football. He spreads the ball wide. It's taken there by Brady Rees. He just gets a funny old kick away. And now it's going to be another ball up here. Still at half forward for the Blues. They'll be happy with this. They're kicking into the breeze in the first quarter. As Chris Sayer said, we approximate it's probably 2 to 3 goals. And certainly was favouring the town end in the seconds today. Ryan Matthews again had a great season. Working hard there is Alex Vincent for the Tigers. Another ball up. The curtain raiser today, 20-28, 148 the Tigers. So top of the ladder Tigers. Well done with the minor premiership, and they defeated Launceston 7-4-46. There's a Gardner gets a tap away. Goes straight down the throat there of Luke Graham. He can't escape. Well, Baz, I didn't do much good. Over to you again.
Nothing to talk about at the moment, Dave. It has not moved out of this half-forward area that the Launceston side are going to the Exeter end in the opening term. It's just gone back and forth across the ground. The umpire's found a free kick in the middle of the pack this time, and that'll clear it out. And this will be Alex Vincent, who's already had a couple of attempts at a kick, and this is a better one, but he kicks it straight to Smith in the centre of the ground for the Blues. And he marks with the bushy beard and the long hair. Very distinguished as he kicks in towards the half-forward, looking for Gillow. Gillow traps it at ground level, then handballs out, looking for Joby Harper, gets it on a little bit further towards Bistro. He's thrown to the ground. The pump, they're under the pump of the backman back here now for the Tigers, but it ends up again with Gillow, gets it on to Holt. Holt actually threw it out to his teammate, I think, who just kicked it over the top of the pack. It bounces awkwardly at the top of the square. Running onto it is the defender back there of Rees, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full as he's just tackled at the crucial stage of getting rid of the footy. And as that Thorpe that was first over there, that's the quickest he's run all year. He's got over there quickly into that forward pocket to make sure that he's going to have this deliberate shot at goal. He's only 15 metres out, currently standing just outside the boundary. He's moved back in now and is indicating to the field umpire that he's going to do one of those Inside out, kicks, and he likes it off the boot. The big fella doesn't let his team down. First opportunity for a score in the game, and the Blues are one straight goal. And the Tigers are yet to score, and we've been playing 4.5 minutes of the opening term.
Poor choice there by the Tiger defender. Tried to kick it probably all of about 6 metres. He was clear. He could have given the handball across to his teammate, but for some strange reason, with pretty much no pressure on him, he's decided to do a little 6 metre kick that's found over the boundary on the full and gifted Launceston their first goal.
So 1 goal straight 6. Launceston Tigers yet to score. Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. Now a new store in Brisbane Street. Thank you for your support this year. For our TSL broadcasts, we're here during the finals, and I'll start here this time next week. Ball up, Leadham gets his own hit out, and he'll go after it. Big fella gets a scrubby old kick towards half forward. Donnellan there, strength, takes the ball, releases a handball. Here's Leadham again in a fight there with Ben Donnelly. Leadham does well. That's great stuff by the big fella. He's followed all the way down to the forward line. Not 15, says the umpire. Donnelly again in there fighting for it. Leadham again gets the handball away. Donnellan with strength. Anyway, he knows how to go about it. And eventually a lot of players around the ball. Taylor tries to get a swinging shot at goal and can't do so. Little handball away there from Blake McCulloch. As player might have been tackled a bit high, he was. And wait and see who gets up. I think that might be Sam Dygan, former Hobart City Demons player. Dygan now decides to switch the ball riskily. Once again, Max, was talking about that. This time works out all right. Taken by Poland. Poland looks here for Rice. He marks at half-back for the Tigers. Afternoon to our listeners down in Kingborough Way. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on City Park Radio. As the ball clears the pack there.
Great
taken
tackle
there by Launceston, and there was Maxie said it was a fantastic tackle. I think it might be rewarded. No, umpire says ball up. On the far side, right in front of the Launceston interchange bench. So it's Leadham, front position, little tap away towards Harper, taking those Bristow. He kicks to half forward, Casey Brown in a wrestle with Rice. That's over the boundary line.
Be really interesting to see, Dave. You've got Leadham in the ruck, and he's up against a few monsters today. You've got big Michael Paul down there at full forward, who just applied that really good tackle, and I'll come back to it in a minute.
Yeah, the boy from Huonville, first year in the TSL. Johnson up there against Thorpe. Thorpe gets it towards Harper. He slips over at the crucial moment. Back to Bristow, who's been prominent early. Inside out, kick to the square. Back in the van there, and a nice mark taken there by Blake McCulloch in defence.
Yes, there's about 6 or 7 Tiger players in long sleeves in that back line. He's one of them. His kick's poor. It's landed just inside the 50-metre semicircle. Looking for a target there, and 2 Blues were hovering between the 3 of them. They've gone to ground, and there'll be a bounce up just inside 50. The player was Tyler Carter that he was trying to get the pass to. There's Thorpe gets a backhanded tap down. Just tapped off the ground somehow by the Launceston player. Gets it towards the top of the goal square. Another scrambly passage of play. One of those long sleeve defenders comes out for the Tigers. The kick's been dropped. Taken off the hands by Jacob Boyd. The ball's in there now and taken away there by Killerley. He kicks it towards the top of the square. Off hands there it goes to Poland. He runs out of defence, gets it over a little bit wider to McCulloch. Opportunity here for the Tigers to get it out of the defensive zone. I think that might have been off the side of the boot. It was, in fact, almost looked like it could have been touched off the boot. But it's a Launceston free kick. It ends up with Bistro, who's been pretty dominant early. He kicks from 50 metres out of the wing, grab that and pull it towards the top of the square. In front and square, though, it's all the Tigers. Running it out of defence here now is Griggs, and he kicks it with the boot towards centre wing. Opportunity for them to go into their attacking zone for the first time in the game. Ball bounces awkwardly. There's the player getting in there, though. That was Reardon. That's come out and goes towards half forward. A free kick, I think you'll find, to the Tigers player down there just inside the half forward area, and that's Luke Graham. He'll play on quickly. He's got orange on the boots as he kicks towards the target at the top of the square there, and his big guard up comes off the top of the pack, and it's taken by all the hands there by Graham. Was it Duggan? Dygan.
Yep.
Dygan down the back, and he's just offline through for a minor score. But that was a good attack there by the Tigers. They took that right from the back pocket, right around, under the pressure a couple of times, but managed to keep possession, and at least have had a shot at goal. And we've been playing now 9 minutes into this opening term, and it's the Blues 1 straight goal. It's the Tigers 1 point.
Jake Smith kicks out from fullback. Go out of bounds, but of course he's run out of the square, so it's not a free kick these days. Maxie, how are you seeing things?
Yeah, look, it's a slow start, and I'm interested with the breeze there. Groove's first time inside 50 for the Tigers.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's taken them 9 minutes to get it past the centre, so good defensive footy by the Blues.
So Dave Greer, our stats man today, to my right, doing a great job as per usual. We'll get some stats from him during the day. As Bristow, he's had about 5 possessions already, I think, Barry, as now Gillo releases it to Killer Lee. Kick smothered, comes back now to Ryan Matthews. His handball back to McCulloch, who's been pretty prominent early. Now towards Alec Wright, back to McCulloch, just throws on the boot. We go towards Jake Smith, tumbling attempt at a mark, can't do so. Spillage, here's Reardon, little kick, 5 metres, no good. Tigers still with a chance, the handball goes forward. Player in Graham shrugs the tackle, Luke Graham, that's pretty skillful, into the goal square. And he's offline, 1 behind, 2 behind to the Tigers. Launceston 1 goal straight 6, Tigers have the breeze. So we saw Luke Graham kick a bit of a bag of goals last year at UTAS Stadium, if I remember rightly, Maxie.
I think we did, Dave.
Yeah,
yes.
in that great game where they almost beat North Launceston. And a bit of a thrilling encounter. And a big comeback in the last quarter, if I remember rightly. As here's Jake Smith now, out of the goal square again. He's going to come this side. Ball shifts in the wind. McCulloch, impressive start to the game, Blake McCulloch. He takes the mark, 2 kicks out from goal. Oh, handball, player wasn't watching. I think that might be Griggs. Kick off the ground. Jaden Hines, late inclusion, working hard. It's right near the boundary line. Alec Wright picks it up, nowhere to go. Good tackling by the Tigers, but Hines gets a kick away. In there is Taylor fighting for the ball with Brady Rees. They wrestle each other to a standstill. There'll be a ball up centre wing. It's Tigers 2 behinds, Launceston 1 goal straight 6. 11 minutes in.
Well, the Tigers have looked a lot better in the last couple of minutes. They really look like they've got into the rhythm of the game. As the tap down goes to nobody in particular. It's still on centre wing, been socket off the ground by Harper. Umpire allows it to go towards right. 2 defenders there for the Tigers hold him in right in front of the broadcasting position. And that was Brady Rees, who made a mistake early, but apart from that he's done 3 or 4 good things. There's the tap coming down now by Bronny Woods, and he's a big tall boy, but the kick goes in towards half forward, and a nice mark has been taken by Jared Dew on backline. He gets it off to the said Rees. Rees goes to pass, and it's too long and too far. Ends up with Alec Wright, who just chips over the top, looking for Thorpe, and Thorpe runs out just outside 50. I think he'll think it's even a little bit too far for him. So he tries to chip over the top, almost comes off, but the defence of the Tigers was a wake up to it. They're in there in numbers, and there's been a free kick, and it's been awarded to the Launceston player back there in Casey Brown. He was probably the last one in there, but the tackle was too high. And Sam Rice is disgusted with what happened. I don't know whether he doesn't agree with the call or whether he's just not happy because they've given Launceston an opportunity here. But Casey Brown will get a good look at the wind here as to what it's doing. It's been playing a little bit of funny games with the flight of the ball, especially once it starts to head back towards the turf. It's been swinging and dipping a little bit. Let's have a look here now. He's very deliberate. Will kick from 40 metres. It's favouring his right boot. He likes it off the boot. He starts clapping. And Casey Brown kicks his first goal for the game. Launceston second. They're 2 straight goals, 12. The Tigers have had exactly the same amount of shots, but they're both behinds. And we've played 13 minutes of this opening quarter.
Transferred himself to a forward in the last few games, hasn't he, Dave? Casey Brown,
Yep.
He's renowned as a defender and a very good defender, but Thorpe's thrown him forward the last couple of games I've been here to watch, and with pretty impressive results. He's a good, strong, small forward. He just knows how to tackle. That's probably one of his real strengths, and his pace to be able to break the line. So to get an early goal will give him some bit of confidence.
Maxie, one disappointing thing for the Tigers so far is their foot skills. There've been a couple of errant kicks, and one coming out of defence there really set that up for Launceston. As we'll get another stoppage here as a player almost gets his shirt ripped off. So just want to comment on that, Maxie? The foot skills haven't been great so far.
No, they have. Well, I spoke about the on the full over there. They've had 2 on the fulls over in front of the Launceston clubroom side, and that kick out of defence then found Alex Wright on the chest. So yeah, they need to get better at that.
Bristow nearly best on the ground at the moment. His kick's a bit smothered on this occasion. As it's going to be another ball up just adjacent to the larger of the centre circles. As it's 14 minutes gone in this first quarter. Blues into the breeze, leading by 10 points. They'll be more than happy with that. As the tap is won there by Hugh Johnson. A lot of players around the ball. So AFL this afternoon, North Melbourne versus Melbourne and Sydney versus St Kilda. So 2 games with no bearing on the top 8. we'll get some scores from that fairly soon. Maxie's getting on his phone now. There's a Holt that's tackled to a standstill.
I tell you what, Dave, I reckon that's about the 7th or 8th time a Launceston player has taken possession and 2 Tigers have tackled him at the same time.
Yep.
So they're obviously being instructed that they got to go in pairs.
It's taken away here. Attempted to be taken away there by Alex Bessel. He's tackled. Quick kick forward. Chance now for the Tigers. As the kick goes inside 50, bit of a chaos ball. Loose ball now goes to Mickey Paul. Handball backwards. Snap on goal. Offline. That's one behind. I think I'm on Tyler Carter there, number 35, having a shot for goal. So it's the Tigers 3 behinds now. And Launceston 2 goals straight 12. Jake Smith again. Kicks it out of the goal square this time. He sees a beautiful option there in Jacob Boyd. That was elite there from Jake Smith. Pinpointed the pass 60 metres. Now it goes towards Killerley. He's got a bit of space. Uses his pace to get away. Little chip there. And chisels a kick to Thorpe, who takes the mark. Inside 50 now. Alec Wright over the back is Taylor. Although Wright might take the mark. Oh, that was a mark for mine. Definitely a mark. As he had both hands on that both times, Maxie.
2 pair of hands on it. Wright's the first time and Wright's the second time. So bad decision there, but we all make them.
Greaves is nodding as Thorpe gets it down towards Gillow, who just gets a kick away under pressure. He always has a knack of doing that. Now it's a contest, McCulloch against Wright. McCulloch has Rees, who's happy to see it through for a behind. So Launceston 2-1-13. Tigers 3 behind, 3 points, 16 minutes in.
Yes, and conditions a little bit blustery here at Windsor Park. Oh, running the ball out of defence, had the handball over to Dygan in the end, and then Dygan has to handball backwards again. They're putting themselves under the pressure here, the Tigers. Dygan takes a bounce right in the goal square, chips it out of defence, and finds a teammate there in Jared Dew across half back line. Way they go on that outer with Vincent. Has been pretty good in the first quarter. He's looking out there for his teammate in Bezel, and he's marked it nicely on the half-back line for the Tigers. He kicks deep in towards the centre wing there, and it looks like the big fella Gardner might have snuck down there on the outer wing, chips it over the top. A lot of these players I mentioned earlier are in sleeves for the Tigers, and we've not seen them all that often, and they're all about the same sort of cut and build, so it might take a little while for us to pick up which one's which. I think that might have been Rees again on that occasion, as he kicks it to the only player in long sleeves for Launceston in Vandervelde, who drops the mark, and he's been set upon by the defence or the wingman over there, and there'll be another bounce down. I reckon we've had quite a few of them in the opening half of the first quarter. There's the ball, goes to ground. They've set upon him again. And guess what? There's going to be another bounce over there on centre wing on the road side of the ground. And if the Tigers could get it out of there, they'd have the breeze beautifully at their back from that half-forward line, you would think, as they kick towards the town end, the Launceston end of the ground in the opening quarter. Taken out there by Matthews, another one in the long sleeves, gets it towards half-forward. The numbers are that small when they're right over on that other side of the ground. They're also a little bit difficult to pick up. But here's the hands, the quick hands out there to Graham, and Graham chips off the ground, but Vandervelde's back there, and he gets a handball over. Here come the Blues. Out of defence now, Jack Tuttle's back there, eludes a player, then kicks it straight to the opposition player there in Griggs, who slides on all fours and takes a nice mark just above the green turf. He's too far out to score, you would think. He's about 60 metres out. He's taking a fair bit of time, electing now to put it towards what he thought was the top of the square, but it's come off the side of his boot, almost paid off for him. It's bounced off the chest of a Tiger player back there. A Launceston player takes possession. Down they go to the ground again, and there'll be, yes, another bounce down. You've got the binoculars on there, Dave. You might be able to pick that up.
There's young Gillow there, Bailey Gillow.
It was. Took the ball
First
really well,
involvement.
Dave. And another example of their poor foot skills there by the Tigers. Terrible kick into their inside 50.
Now we've got a free kick. It's going the Tigers' way within scoring distance. So from a ruck infringement. And it looks like it's Tyler Carter. Wait till he turns around. It is indeed Tyler Carter. He's going to be lining up from about 35 out directly in front. They've evened up the inside 50s this quarter now, the Tigers, at 6 apiece. But they trail by 10 points as the kick is going to fade back to the right. It's not a bad effort. It's a goal to Tyler Carter. And that's the first for the Tigers. They go to 1 goal, 3-9. Launceston 2 goals, 1-13. And we've been playing 19 minutes into the first quarter.
Good finish there, Dave, by the big guy. A good goal. And I think at quarter time, I'm just looking, we're 20 minutes into the game, and they've entered their inside 50s, kicking with what Chris Sayer had told us, 2, 3, 4 goal breeze. And I reckon their coach would be fairly disappointed with their inability to play direct footy at the moment, and I think that's a combination of both. The Tigers are sort of mucking around with it a little bit, and the Blues' ability to shut them down, but they certainly haven't used the wind to their advantage in this first quarter.
Gardner's back into the ruck now. Goes in against Leadham. Leadham gets a lovely clean tap. Just goes over the top there to Hines. The ball goes on the ground. Leadham's following up his work beautifully. He's done that 3 or 4 times, but it ends up here with Matthews of the Tigers. They got the ball on their centre wing. Comes over the top here now to Griggs. Can he pick it up? Yes, he can. He kicks the ball with the left foot under the pressure. It goes down towards the half-forward line where Ryan Turrell is the Launceston player who gets there first. Handballs over the top to Tuttle. He's under the pump and gets it back somehow to Smith. Smith just chips it out of defence, and a Launceston mark has been taken there beautifully by, is that Casey Brown down there?
Jacob Boyd, I think.
Jacob Boyd, is it? Yes, I'm not quite sure of him, but he kicks it over the top anyway to Ryan Turrell, and he's marked on the half-back line, right in front of where the Tigers get changed here at Windsor Park. There's his kick out of defence with the left boot. The wing grabs that one and pulls it down. Leadham gets himself in front, can't take the mark. Ends up there with Drew. He kicks it forward, not going anywhere except for Hines. He gets it and then chips it beautifully here to the helmeted Toby Lucas, and he marks on centre wing in front of the broadcasting position. Runs himself to the boundary line. The wind grabs that. It only travels about 30 metres. Leadham tries to get in front there. Joby Harper takes the ball and holds it in play, then kicks it inside 50. Comes off the top of the hands there. Tigers out of defence, and a good kick by Griggs as he kicks it deep towards the centre wing position. Taken away there by Carter. Carter gets it further on, and it ends up with the player in Lister. It goes down now to where Vandervelde gets it off to Hines. Handballs on to his teammate who was under the pump. Out of defence comes Brown, and he kicks it towards the half-forward line here for Launceston. Stepping in front was Blake McCulloch, and takes a nice mark in the true centre half-back position for the Tigers.
It's been pretty good, Blake McCulloch, so far. It's a lovely kick to position. I think that's Luke Groan taking the mark. Well, that from goal. He's directing traffic. Now he kicks up here towards Smith, though, for Launceston. Another chop-out mark. He's found his niche, Maxi, across half-back as Jake Smith, as he switches the ball dangerously but well. It's taken by Tim Bristow. Cross half-back. So Jake Smith, probably in the form of his career, selected this year in the Tassie Under-25s. Little kick into Miller Hodge. So Miller Hodge finds Jaden Hines. Late inclusion, brother of Jake. They played together earlier this year on this ground against North Hobart. Kicks low, not well, cut off by Reardon. Then he has to get a tackle on to Tim Bristow. There'll be a ball up, left half back. 22 minutes gone, probably won't be a long quarter. Just the 3 goals kicked so far. So the Tigers behind with the breeze. They won't be happy about that. As Bristow once again lays the tackle. Ball up, same position. So last night saw North Hobart winning a thriller against Clarence by 5 points. Last game for Ollie Divenuto, who's played with both North Hobart and Clarence, the 36-year-old. Ball up. Tapped away there by Lockie Watt. Now the kick goes inside 50 for the Tigers. Mickey Paul at the back takes a strong mark up against Vandervelde. And Mickey Paul will line up from 30 out, about 10 metres in from the boundary. And you have to allow for the breeze with this one, but he's been a good player. A few hamstring concerns during the year. Came from Huonville, where he kicked bags of goals there in the SFL. So our first look at him here on City Park Radio. He's a big unit, Maxi.
He's a huge unit, and it'll be a good contest between him and Simon Vandervelde today.
Mickey Paul for goal, makes no mistake. And the Tigers hit the front here at Windsor Park. 2-3-15 to 2-1-13. 23 and a half minutes in.
Used his body really well then in the contest there, Dave. Just held off, and at the last minute just sort of nudged Vandervelde out of the road. But he'll learn a lot, Simon, by playing on a guy like this who's played a lot of senior footy at a different level. But you're right, Paul has progressed and improved right throughout the year, and they're hoping to see some big things out of him in the next year or two.
And they'll probably be matched up next week.
They will be, yep.
So it's a lot to learn.
That's probably one of the contests that you could put in the book for next week, regardless of the players coming in and out. So, yeah, it'll be good to see how they go today.
Field umpire with the ball back in centre field. Johnson in there doing the ruck work against Leadham. Following up on the work there is Johnson again. Runs back in towards the defence, gets it out there towards Matthews, twists and turns out of trouble, gets it out where Gillow picks it up quickly, gets it off to Holt. He kicks in towards half forward line there, and a nice mark has been taken by Brady Rees. He's made a couple of errors, but he's playing pretty well also across that half back line. Kicks it out of the fence, getting down along there towards Graham, and Graham takes about 3 bites of the cherry and then chips over the top. He's watered the mark, but quickly plays on. Tried to find a teammate who's been held. No, a Launceston player has been held. And there'll be a free kick right out on the far side there. Too far away for me to...
Killer Lee.
Killer Lee, is it? There he is now. Yes, I can see it's Killer Lee now. He gets it on to Leadham. And Leadham's on centre wing on the far side of the ground. Kicks towards half forward. Chipping in there was Gardner, but as you would have heard, that's the siren to end the first encounter here at Windsor Park. And it's a slender lead to the Tigers. They've kicked 2 goals, 3-15. They've had the 5 opportunities. Launceston have had 3 against the win. They're 2-1-13, so a 2-point margin. The goal kickers for the Tigers, Michael Paul and Tyler Carter. And for Launceston, Mitch Thorpe and Casey Brown.
Maxie, you